Yeah, our recommendation is the presentation mode. So when we start a presentation, you can optionally have video conferencing on and off. You can optionally force the students to follow and be on the specific page that you're presenting. And what happens is you start the presentation session. You can give it a name too. So let's say, you have section 1 of your course is going to be this presentation. And you can make it so you only go live with that section of students. You'd be able to select that section. So this presentation would only be for them. You start that presentation. You're given a copy of the page that is your presentation view. Here, it will persist within that presentation. So if you open up the preview, the presentation, any work you did in here will be saved. When you run the code, it syncs and the students will see it also. So let me show here. Here's my presentation view. I'm presenting to the students. This is what the students would see. Actually, I didn't publish this page, so that's not going to work. I can show off how I can reopen that presentation. So you can see in this presentation, I typed that extra line. I typed line 2, right? It's not here in my template, so I'm not affecting the template that students get or anything. Let me just publish this page now. So now students can actually access it. Now I'm going to open the presentation. I'm going to go back to my previous presentation. I'm going to reopen it where that work will still exist that I did with the students. The students also can open up a previous presentation. So as you can see, that there's that line I typed. This is what it looks like for the students. The students get a split screen of your presentation where they can watch you live type. They can see you run the code. So here's the teacher view. This is what the students would see. They can't edit your presentation. So the presentation view is a read-only view for them. But they can, of course, edit their own, run their code, etc. This gives you a space where you can do your live class demonstration, follow along, and then if you do like them to have this as notes, when you end the presentation session, this goes away for them. It's no longer split screen, it's just their work. Right. They can open up past presentations if you leave them open. So this presentation panel for them, they'll see all the past presentations you have. I actually recommend just reusing the same presentation every day. Presentations can go across pages. So if you just use the same one for the same group of students all the time, they'll only ever have one over here to open. It becomes very easy for them to identify it. They can open it up on their own just to review what you did during class, what you did during that presentation session. This doesn't affect the teacher. Teacher doesn't have it open. This is just the student reviewing that. They just click the icon to end it. So definitely a coding room's best practice is to use that presentation session for all that live teaching scenarios, the presentation views created for you to do that, and then it keeps track of all that information. If you don't want the students to open a past presentation, you click this little X to close the session. Closed sessions are not accessible by students. Any other questions, especially related to presentation, maybe?
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We can hear
Awesome.
you.
So I found it. I opened up my coding rooms, on the side, and I found the presentation mode. Can you just show me how do I give students the link? You mentioned that maybe like this is their page and they can see it on their computer, right? So where's the link that I'm going to send them?
So in the new version, you don't have to give a link. If
Okay.
they're in the course,
Okay.
somewhere in the course, it will,
Yep.
and you have follow presentation on, it
Yep.
forces them to go to your page and see your presentation.
Beautiful. That's fantastic. Awesome.
So all you have to do is tell them to have the Coding Rooms course open. As soon as they go on any page, it's going to move them over to the page that you're on.
Yep.
And they're going to be looking at your presentation.
Unbelievable.
It keeps them on that page.
That is awesome. I'm so excited because the kids, I've been doing it old school. They're looking at the board in the front of the room,
Yeah, exactly.
So that seems so archaic.
The whole idea with the classic version of the presentation of or the live classroom, which was Coding Room's core product previously, that whole idea was really important to us, especially during a remote learning scenario. Is screen real estate is so important. So yes, you can do screen shares, but then students have to kind of switch between tabs if they don't have multiple monitor situation, which most students don't. Or they have to do some kind of split screen and it doesn't really work. It doesn't really look right. In Coding Rooms, we have a nice optimized split screen where they can, right on their screen, right inside of their tab next to their own code, watch you code. And it becomes, even in a live teaching scenario, a much more improved and an efficient way for the students to follow along. Because now right next to where they're running code and testing things, they're seeing your code and your examples. And they don't have to look up and down at a monitor or anything, or at a projector, anything like that. So all of the interviews we've done with students, they talk about just how much better of an experience that is for them to just be able to follow along right inside the same window.
Wow, thank you. That's so cool. I'm going to try that tomorrow morning with the kids. I'll let you know how it goes.
Excellent. Sounds great. Yeah, send me an email. I'd love to hear that.
Thank you.